Hey guys, we're back. We're out of here. Monday, 2:40 p.m. I scheduled a couple of shorts earlier, but they're gonna come on soon. I like to just keep them coming. I don't know. I don't really follow a pattern. I don't know about you guys. I try to just keep them coming. I don't know how often, you know. No one's ever said there was a limit to it. Like, well, there were times when I had actually exceeded my upload limit, but that were rare. That was years ago. I haven't hit the upload limit for a long time, so you could say I'm guilty of doing like the bare minimum sometimes, which who doesn't feel like that sometimes, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's immense. You look at the targets and you go, wow, I'll never reach those. You know, like, it's not about the money anyway. So I just thought, well, you just got to keep motivated to put in. It's a bit like, you know, going to the park and doing some exercise. You're not getting paid, but it's still good for you. So, you know, I like to, like, you know, stay in touch, guys. I don't know, like, you know, it's just really, I found some of the best people to talk to. You're all out there somewhere, you know. I don't find, you know, day to day here, it's not the same, you know. There's not a lot of YouTubers here, actually, I've noticed. Like, I ask everyone, most people are into Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and this kind of stuff, and I always tell them, what about YouTube? And like, no one, they all watch YouTube, but none of them use their accounts, use their channels. And I thought, why not? I mean, you know, it's a good way of putting out like a lot of stuff, you know, if you want to, you know. They don't really restrict you. You can make videos that run for hours if you want, you know. Not that anyone's really going to sit through those, but I know a lot of people put up videos to try and get, you know, watch hours up, you know, put big long videos up with the hope that one person's going to sit and watch it, you know, and you might clock up some watch hours, but so what anyway? That's not the point. You know, we're not really doing it for that reason, I'm sure, you know. Hey, how are ya? Scorpion Tail 21 with the purple crown. I love that. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming. We're heading out. We're disappearing on a Monday afternoon. It's over. And we're looking at a Tuesday on the way. Hopefully, it's a good day. Like I alluded to this in one of my shorts, it's upcoming, but I wanted to say that, you know how go to the something Maoist. What up? Hey guys, welcome. I mean, that's great. Just come in and see me, that's all. I love that. I get a lot of energy, guys. When someone comes in, I feel, yeah, excited, you know. Someone's out there, you know. Yeah, I was just wanting to say, basically, you know, I'm in the city. Are you in Melbourne? I'm leaving Melbourne's back there now. I'm out of there. Docklands, Footscray. I'm looking at Carlton, sort of. Parkville. I'm out of there. But I just want to say, tomorrow never comes. We know that. But because we exist today, hey, I see some familiar faces there. Some familiar names in there. Thanks for coming, guys. That's awesome. I love it when people come back, you know. A lot of people disappear, but that's okay. If I get through to someone once, it's okay, you know. At least I've done that, you know. That's how I feel. Life's a bit of a relay race. You don't know who you're passing the baton to. Go to Magpies. Yeah, why not? They can play footy. We know that. I gotta go to San Antonio. That sounds alright. Sounds like a cool place, actually. Where is that? Is that like... Sounds like it's near Florida or something, right? Florida? I don't know. I'm guessing. I know there's a lot of, you know, Hispanic people are in Florida. I remember once I went to Miami Airport and I heard the announcements coming through in 2 languages, and I was like, wow, there must be a lot of people here. Texas, sorry, yeah. I'm terrible at geography. Yeah, San Antonio, that sounds very Texas, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, Texas. The big state of Texas. Remember that movie with Jimmy Dean? Remember that movie called Big? I think it was called Big. You know, and he hits oil. You know the one? Yeah, I reckon I'd love it there. Is that where they filmed all the Western movies? Because I'd love to see that place. Love to see that terrain. I know that they did it in studio, but whenever they did outdoor shots, weren't they in places like Texas, or some of them were filmed actually in Spain? You know, like the spaghetti westerns, the ones where the mouth moves. Why'd you always film in the car? The audio is the best. It's the best audio. I do it at home, but I find that the audio is way better, like in the car, because there's not much noise out. You know. That's all. And it's a long way home. I always say I love the company. I love the company. You know, I don't. If you want to know the truth, I kind of hate being by myself. Like, you know, I mean, I live with people, but yeah, I kind of like. I can cope. It's just I don't prefer being alone. You know, in my thoughts. And even I told someone today, can you just tell me to take it easy? And he said, why? I said, just tell me. I need to hear it. I need to hear it. Like, because I caught myself. Oh, I'm going home. Yeah, I'm going home. And then kind of way you guys be ride shotgun, you know, with me, at least for a minute. I'll drop you off here at home. If you live here, I'll drop you off. But I caught myself imagining worst case scenarios, right? And I thought, nah, don't do that, because like in a way, like when you put your mind to it, in a kind of way, the dangerous thing is imagining a worst case scenario. You know, when someone says, what's the worst that could happen? Well, it just takes me to the wrong place. And I just think, nah, I gotta fight myself there. I can't let myself be like that. I can't let myself imagine worst case scenarios, because they hardly ever happen that way as well. You know, and sometimes you just like, even someone told me that it's like machinations, you know, just rumors in your mind, shadows, you know, you wonder, you know, what could go wrong? What could they say? What could happen here? What if this person's not here? What if that person's not here? What if XYZ happens, you know? And I just think, God, that's all crap, and none of it happens. And you just kind of waste your time worrying. It's like, man, if I could take off this worry, put those worries to bed, you know? God. I think, wouldn't it be great to focus on how good things are, how good things could be, instead of like the opposite, you know, and thinking, oh, what could go wrong? Let's avoid the worst thing that could happen. No, because you're kind of inventing the worst thing that could happen and taking steps to avoid it. You're almost tempting the devil in to say, here's what I've planned that is foolproof. No, it's not foolproof. Nothing is, you know. So I just think, nah, look, sometimes the devil's in you, in the details, you know. It's in, you might come up with a great idea, and then it won't take very long to even pick holes in the thing yourself and say, nah, I'm not going to do that. It's not going to work. But something in you tells you it won't work. But I don't know that that's correct. You know, I've even had to stop listening to the kind of things I say. I have a question. Good, are magpies your favourite animal? Nah. Yeah, well, not really, but they're birds I like. You know, I relate to them a little bit, because the magpie is a bit like a bit of a nomad, you know, like goes around and collects things here and there. And I just thought, yeah, if there was a bird I was similar to, it'd be like that. And a magpie is quite peaceful. It is a defensive bird. Like, it does like swoop in defense of its babies or against intruders and that, but it's never happened to me. I've found them to be very nice, sweet birds. They've got a strong heart, and they got a great song. They whistle a beautiful song. And the best thing I've noticed is that, like, comparing different birds, you see, they really are different. They're not the same. You know, we say birds are birds, but they're not. Like, no bird is really the same as another bird. Notice that. And no, I think there's a lot to learn from not just birds, every animal. You know, of course I love mammals. You know, happen to be one. You know, got to have a love for mammals somehow. You know, us being mammals. So no, I love nature. Come on, who doesn't love it? I mean, I was just thinking the other day, if the world was absolutely empty and barren, and it was up to you to populate the earth with whatever you could think of, what could you think of? Would you remember all those animals that exist and go, oh yeah, don't forget the dolphin, don't forget the praying mantis, you know, don't forget those little slater bugs and those earwigs. Like, you know, how many people would forget about all those things because it's up to them to remember which things existed before they all disappeared, for example. Like, hypothetically, if it were up to you to say, got cut. I was just saying, animals are very important to us, you know, on this planet. I don't know what we'd do if it were just us here, you know, just humans and our inventions. Imagine that. That would be some kind of hell. You'd never hear a bird sing. You'd have no chickens that lay eggs for you, or even having no animals to eat, guys. I mean, I know some people are against it, but we do eat a lot of stuff that comes from nature, you know. I mean, even salad, herbs. I mean, how lucky are we that all these things came, like, in time for us? Like, that, I mean, we're here and we get to enjoy all these fruits, vegetables, plants, all these different animals, all this meat, so much meat out there. God, it's incredible. And I'm not big on it myself. I always feel a bit bad eating it, but me being a hungry person, I can't be too fussy, you know. I have to stay alive. The hardest thing is doing that, I think. I think all we got to do, guys, is stay alive. And really, I've been plugging this baby because I just want people to come to the point of view of make sure you're looking after your survival, you know. Like, make sure you got your survival in mind, not just things that are superfluous to that, you know, which I think should take second place, really. And we don't concentrate on survival as a thing first. Like, I see a lot of risk-taking behavior, and I think, gee, if this person really had the survival mindset, they wouldn't take such silly risks going to work, driving too fast. There's a chance you won't make it, you know. And I just think, no, I don't even want to run that chance of not making it home alive, you know. And kind of part of me wants to really stay alive for as long as possible, even though I feel I have been alive pretty long already. I know it's all about me. I don't know what to say, you know. Like, sometimes all I want to do is hold up a poster for Joe Average, you know, the normal person out there. Like, not these I know there's a lot of people with so much talent, incredible, great skills. I watch a lot of people I watch a lot of different channels. You know, I'm a watcher more than a maker, and it was just, I'd reached a point of frustration with the feeds and the different things that were happening, the narratives of different news stories were just starting to get me down. So I stopped watching news. I kept away for the best part of a year, I think, nearly. I've kept away from all news coming out of the Pentagon and Washington, and although I used to be really hooked on that news and listening to everything, you know, of the, you know, in the Congress and all this, like listening to the speeches of the dudes coming out of Congress and saying what they think and all this, and then I thought, you know, it's all very stressful, you know, because I could keep up to date with it all, but what for? It's not even for me to know. It's not, I don't even live in America, even though I was kind of hooked on American news. I just thought anything that happens in America is important to us here, little Australia. And I always thought, yeah, we should be kind of really focused in on what's going on over there, because things that happen in America gradually influence us, and I think we are similar countries, just we're very small and far away and kind of isolated. It's a bit like, I think Australia is a bit like the Wild West that America once was, you know, kind of like we're hardly populated, you know. We've got vast expanses of desert that lives in, and I just thought, well, that's how America was, you know, once. So in a kind of way, maybe Australia is like the miniature USA, you know, that's still coming, still on its way to becoming a country that actually, you know, has some standing, I don't know, has some teeth or has some significance to other countries. So many people don't want to know what we're talking about, because here we are, what do we know? We're down here, we don't see much, we're stuck on a big island, we can't get out of here. The economy's got us bad, we can't do much about our station in life. And I suppose some of us really stop thinking big, you know, and we start just thinking, we shrink down to making sure that we're okay day to day, in our own little kind of units, you know, and not thinking big no more. Like, you know, I think that's trademark of being young, you know, I don't know, not thinking big anymore, thinking small, but not small for me, but small for keeping it manageable. Like, I mean, if I had too many things happening at once, I don't know how I'd cope or how much I'd enjoy having too much to do. Rish the Fish. Hey Rish. Cool name. I love these names people come up with. It makes me look so unimaginative. I just picked a bird. Now, I always actually wanted other names, but, you know, this one's stuck. I don't know. And I'm scared to change it now. I'm scared to change it. I don't know. My name's Alex. Anyway, I'm Alex. That's my real name. And my initials are AI. They always have been. Fluke. I love your YouTube name. Oh, thanks. Carl's Barkley. I like yours better. I like rhyming names. I think I should have had a rhyming thing. Now, look, the best part of this whole thing is that anyone can just come up with any name they want, you know, within some reason and within some boundary, but you can come up with anything you want, you know, and I love it. I love it. It's such a platform for originality. Like, it forces you to be unique, because you try, look, everyone does this. You try, you see something, you see, oh, I might try that, or I might copy that, or I might do that, or I might use that song, or oh, I might try doing a thing of a transition from one to the other. Like, you get the idea from people. But I've noticed copying people doesn't work at all. Like, I mean, obviously we try here and there. Little things that you think, oh yeah, that could catch on, you know, what they're doing, but actually it doesn't. What each person does is quite unique. And I think the algorithm treats it uniquely too. I don't think the algorithm goes, oh, here's another video with a green background, put it in. Nah, there's something else going on. And it's the interconnectedness of everyone that really makes this thing what it is. This would be nothing without its users. The users really make this what it is. It's not got anything to do with anything else. There's a lot more loyal YouTube users than there are other platform loyal users, you know? Have you noticed that people who have Facebook also have Instagram, also have this, also have that, but they're loyal to none of them? You know, this whole thing, check us out on this, that, and the other. And I think, well, I'm not going to. I'm going to check out one of them. And I know they're scattergunning to try and get maximum reach out of their media, but I think, what for? Unless you're actually trying to generate sales or something, all right, fair enough. If you're marketing, I guess you'd want to use all the platforms. You wouldn't want to restrict yourself, but I've just got a soft spot for YouTube. I think it's always been the best. It really has. And I'm not just saying that to be a suck job. Like, I really truly think YouTube is the best at, you know, at databasing videos. And countless ones. You know, like, there's really no, sky's the limit. And it enables you to do so many things. And I guess, you know, there is that monetization incentive that I think drives a lot of people, but a lot of people don't get there, and I'm willing to face that. I'm not probably ever going to get there, but that's not what I'm here for. Like, I really just wanted to be a part of the world and let people know that I'm here, and, you know, I mean no harm. You know, I bring peace. I really wish wars would stop. I'm constantly wishing that someday we all just stop fighting, you know, and I know how deluded that sounds, but I wish we would all just, like, kind of put our weapons down and realize that there's no need for humans to fight each other. This is what wears me out, because, like, bad news, you know, daylight attacks, home invasions, explosions, and all this kind of stuff. I just think, gee, there's no limit to how bad humans can be. There's really no limit. Like, one person could go out and do all sorts of carnage all by themselves, and I just think that's a terrible thing for the world. It makes people scared to go out. It makes people scared to go anywhere. Like that thing that happened at the concert with guy walks in with a backpack, man. Fuck, why the hell would you do that, you know? But it just seems that some people are just fixed on evil, on being evil, on doing bad shit to people. They just can't live in peace themselves, so they think, oh, I'm just gonna bring hellfire down on other people because I can't get a break myself. But I just think, can't you realize that you're the problem? Like, it's not the other people's fault that you're like that, and the last thing anyone should do is pick up a weapon and start striking people with it, you know, or firing rounds at people. Like, well, I mean, it's not hard, but why do it? Like, what's the payoff? You know, what would Dr. Phil say? What is your payoff? You know, when he says that, I thought, yeah, that's what I loved about Dr. Phil. He was very common sense about, you know, what is your payoff? You know, what are you actually getting out of fighting with your wife or your partner or your husband or your sister or your neighbor? What's your actual payoff? And he's trying to dig down to that. You know, you're not really enjoying that. You're making yourself sick and stressed out because of all that evil hatred inside you, you know? It's bad for you. It's really bad for you. And I wanted to get back to, like, don't let yourself assume the worst or imagine worst case scenarios. It's not good for you. You don't want those scenarios. We should be kind of trying to picture the best case scenario. How good could this be? And then look at, okay, there might be some hidden traps in there, but you don't want to err on the negative side of things. I know that people advise you to not go out and F up, you know, so they have this mindset of don't make a mistake. But that also means you don't do much. You know, you won't achieve much by just trying to not make a mistake. I think you got to try and do more than that. You've got to try and do a great job of what you're doing, whatever it is. Whatever it is, anything. I suppose it's very general. I just want to step into that idea of, you know, what's the worst that could happen? I think, gee, the list is a mile long of things that, what's the worst? A lot of things could be worst. You don't know what that would entail, and I think it's a wrong line of questioning, that's all. It doesn't invoke positivism. It invokes you to think what could go wrong. You know, like, let's say this, like, well, look, let's say you just met someone, let's put it in a context. You met someone and you're really keen on spending time with them or getting to know them, and it's really in your heart and your mind to do something good with them and really spend some quality time with that person. Okay. Part of you will think, oh, that's great, that you're focused on the positives. But you don't know what the other person's thinking. The other person may be coming at it from a different point of view. They may be coming at this new mutual contact that you've both made. There's two of you involved now. And the other person might be thinking, oh, what's the worst that could happen if I just don't bother talking to this person anymore, or don't bother trying? I'll just say, look, what can I get out of this, you know? But I'm not going to really take an active role in making, you know, mutually doing my best in the relationship. Not that it's a relationship, it's just that we form relationships, we form bonds with people by carrying out certain things together, certain conversations, certain kinds of moments are shared together. There may be no intimacy at all. It's not about that. Are you from Australia? Yes, Australia. Right down the bottom, Victoria. Yeah, down the bottom, that little triangle-y bit, not on top of Tasmania, but we're a little bit isosceles triangle, I think. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Victoria's kind of like a triangle that tapers off like a wedge shape, I think, you know. I think so. And New South Wales, I think, is kind of a rectangle, like, sort of. Yeah. Tassie's got a great shape. Queensland, you know what? Guess what? Carls Barkley, guess what? Most of the people who watch me are from WA and Queensland. I don't know why. Because I can count on one hand how many people from Melbourne have dropped in. Or New South, I've had a couple from New South Wales, but for some reason, I think that it spreads me far and wide. It doesn't. One thing I have never met is anyone just around me, around here. Like, no one around where I am. And I always feel like they unite me with people far, far away. Like, I've got people who watch me, or, you know, who I try to talk to, and they're in like Uzbekistan and Myanmar and Turkmenistan and all these places I've never heard of. Egypt and a couple of times I had someone from United Kingdom. They're not hot on me. I don't know why. I mean, I love Aussie. I was born in Australia. I was born in Sydney. Where are you now? Sounds like you're not here anymore. Ah, NZ. Yeah. Oh, one of my besties lives there. I've always planned to come to NZ and definitely catch up with him. Haven't seen him for fucking so long, man. It's been so hard. Some of my best friends are far away, man, really far away. I don't know what to do about it. It's just left me with this, you know, I guess I spend a lot of time on YouTube just to make up for the fact that I have no face-to-face people like as much here, you know. We're very disparate. I miss Aussie. Hey, well, I don't know. Yeah, well, if you're from Sydney, you probably would have loved it there compared. I think New Zealand's very quiet, isn't it? Yeah, well, you're not far, man. New Zealand's just over there. You could be back here in a few hours, sort of, wouldn't you? 6 hours or something. It's not that far. 8 hours. Yeah. It's probably quicker to get to New Zealand than to Australia from New Zealand than to go, you know, anywhere else. Can't imagine where else you guys could go. New Zealand's got the best straight line sort of from going round the other way to South America. Like I've caught some flights where we stopped in New Zealand and kept going that way around to go around to America. That was, I didn't know the Earth worked that way, but yeah, I'm not big on geography, so clearly I had no idea. Yeah, there's a lot of gangs. There's a lot of, yeah, but they're all young. They're punks. They're not grown gangs. There are some grown-up heavy gangs, but I don't think they present any risk to the average person. Like, you know, proper, well, I'm saying proper criminals that you don't really know who they are. Those ones, you know, they don't make themselves known. Hey, Katie, how are you? Katie husband. Are you Katie's husband or are you Katie husband? I like that. Cool names. Top G. I'm good. Good. Yeah, no, it's good. I'm home. I'm just going to drop off something. I'm doing a quick delivery and then I'm going home. Just have a little box here, drop off. That's all. And then I'm going home. I'm going to, finally have a real coffee, man. I've had the worst coffees all day. Just instant coffee, you know, dreadful. So what I'm gonna do is I want all of you stick around, man. Stick around and come back and see me, okay? Please, that's all I ask. You don't have to sub or do anything. I'll never ask for money. It's your strange last name. I love last names like that. That's great. Katie husband. I like that. It's a very strong sounding name. I quite like it.